you're called to show up to the world imperfect, and it's just like,
Hey man, not ready.
I could use a moment or two, 100 years. I can use some time, and it's this obsession. Seems like obsession, where people just want to see you in your nakedness, and it's like I would like to put on a couple layers of perfection first. I remember I was doing open mic, right? And then I guess word got around my job that I'm doing comedy.
Oh, you was just doing comedy. You was just doing comedy. You was just doing comedy. When you gonna invite us out? Let's come out. Let's come out. Let's support.
And I'm just like, dude,
I don't think I'm funny yet.
like I'm working on my craft. You come to the open mic and take up my safe space. Guess what?
Space not safe no more.
You just ruined it. It's crazy, dog. It's crazy. You're called to show up impartial. It's like, what do you mean? I gotta be vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? What do you mean I gotta show up unfinished?
Have you heard a child speak their mind?
That's not the way I'm stepping out into the world. You know what I'm saying? These children have not yet signed the social contract. They don't care for your feelings. They don't care. I remember one time I was on Amigo with my homeboy at his house, right? And I was just kicking back in his chair, and then we skipped to the next Amigo contestant or participant, whatever you want to call it, right? Leaned back in my chair and went to the next video, and it was a couple kids on the screen. The first thing they said was like, "Hey man, are you pregnant?" And I was like, "Oh." And I think the worst part about it, right, it's just like the awareness that you're being judged, right? And I think that kind of like paralyzes you. At least for me, when I'm like, I be aware of other people's awareness, which, you know, kind of takes me out of a state of flow and
Puts me into a state of flaw, you know?
it's my flow state. Again, going back to open mic, sometimes I'll be on stage and I just think to myself, like, what are these guys looking at? Even called out to one, I was like, "Hey man, are you looking at me?"
You having thoughts about me?
It's not good. It's not good to consider yourself more than you need to. People are already doing that for you, man. Trust me. Let go of yourself. Don't judge yourself. Let the world judge you. And then do nothing about that judgment. Because honestly, this isn't a world where you want to please the entirety of it, you know? I heard somewhere on the internet that like people who like are extremely self-conscious are also thought of to be like extremely miserable. Like you can't think about yourself wholeheartedly, focus on yourself wholeheartedly, and then also be okay with yourself. I don't know the details, right? But I'd imagine like all that focus on oneself is, you know, not good, right? Obviously, but then like something about that like immense pressure that comes from existing as if the whole world revolves around you, like that's anxiety stricken, you know. And then your mind is probably split up into however many personalities judging you from different angles and different perspectives, and it's like that's a lot to contend with. And really, who wants to be the center reflection of such a shallow world? Like, whose shallowness came first? At that point, it's a chicken and egg conversation. Whose shallowness came first? Personally, bro, if there was the opportunity for me to rule the world, I'd say no.
I'd say no, with a swiftness, with a quickness.
I don't want to rule the world. I am okay. Take me off the ballot. Like, okay, so if you think about it like this, like the devil's in the details, right? The devil's in the details. And if you don't know your nature wholeheartedly, you're gonna mourn all the ways you fall short. So basically, for as long as you live, that's gonna be the case. You're gonna fall short, right? And the wrong posture towards that means kind of like eternal death, right? You're constantly in a state of falling short, right? You're constantly thinking about,
Oh my gosh.
I'm not enough. Because the truth is, you'll never be enough. But that's the truth. You'll never be enough. But hey, that can be all you think about, right? And so it sucks showing up to the world impartial because you're vulnerable and people can just poke at you and
Make you think about yourself in the worst way.
but that's also not necessarily the case. Some people might see you and actually like what they have to see, like what I'm understanding, like kind of resolution for the whole thing of being fearful, being vulnerable. Like you really gotta let go of yourself, right? Stop all that peering into yourself, right? But at the same time, it's a balance. You can't let go of yourself completely. Just share the burden of becoming with a trusted community, with trusted people. You gotta show up incomplete and receive grace from one, your creator, right? But also two, people who align themselves with the goodwill of our creator.